Today we will read this chapter 11 on holiday town. Okay, so let us start now this chapter, kids. Learning outcomes. At the end of the chapter, number first day, students will be encouraged to treat everyone around them politely. Okay, number second, students will be motivated to become more humble and nice. चलिए लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड है. कंप्लीट एक्टिविटी है यहाँ पर आपको किड्स इसको रीड आउट करना है और उसको फिल करना है. ओके, नाउ द स्टडी टाइम स्टार्ट नाउ. Carolyn Jetta entered the dining hall of the Golden Gallon Hotel in the full crush of the launcher hour. यहाँ तक कि कैरोलिन जर्टन जो है वो एक होटल में प्रवेश करते हैं जहाँ पर जो होटल था वो बहुत ज्यादा खचाखच भरा हुआ था. Nearly every seat was occupied and the small additional tables have been brought in. Okay, where a floor space permitted to the accommodate latecomers with the result that many of the tables were almost touching one another. यहाँ तक कि जो टेबल थी लोगों से इतनी बड़ी हुई थी कि वहां पर फ्लोर पर पैर रखने के लिए भी जगह नहीं थी. Jatton was beckoned by a waiter. Jatton जल्दी ही वेटर को बुलाता है and turn only vacant table और एक टेबल खाली करने के लिए कहता है. That was visible and took his seat with the uncomfortable. वह एक सीट लेता है जो बहुत ज्यादा अनकंफर्टेबल होती है. And wholly groundless idea. होटल में इतनी जगह नहीं होती कि nearly even one in the rooms was still at. और ना इतनी जगह होती है कि वो एक रूम भी उसे खाली नहीं होता कि वे आसानी से गेट कर सके. He was a youngish man of the ordinary appearance. वह भी साधारण लोगों की तरह एक जवान व्यक्ति था. Part of the dress and he covered never wholly hid himself the idea that a fight still light of public. यहाँ तक कि उसने सोचा कि मुझे कुछ ऐसा करना चाहिए जिससे मैं लोगों को डरा दूं और इस होटल को थोड़ा खाली करा सकूं. Squinty beat of him after he had ordered his lunch. वह जल्दी ही लंच का ऑर्डर देता है. There came the unavoidable interval of waiting with nothing to do. यहाँ तक कि बिना इंटरवल के वह कुछ ऐसा कर देता है कि but to stare at the flowers vase on the table. कि जो टेबल पर रखा हुआ फ्लावर वेस होता है वह उसे गिरा देता है. What is the name of this rose? वह पूछता है do you know, क्या तुम जानते हो इस रोज का क्या नाम है? He asked the waiter. The waiter was shocked and showed this ignorance. Amy, Sylvester Patton, said the voice at the Jatton. Jatton अपनी बड़ी बड़ी वो को चढ़ाते हुए कहता है कि क्या तुम नहीं समझ रहे कि मैं तुमसे कह रहा हूँ. The voice came from a pleasant face. आवाज तो आ रही थी लेकिन समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि आदमी कौन है. Well-dressed young woman who was sitting at a table that almost touched Jatton's. हाँ तक कि जैटन के पास में एक बहुत सुंदर सी वेल ड्रेस विमन बैठी हुई थी. He thanked her heartily. वह उसे धन्यवाद दे रही थी और नर्वसली थी. For the information, they made some silly remark about the flowers. It is a curious thing, said the young woman, that I should be able to tell you. चलो मैं बताती हूँ ये क्या है. The name of those roses without an effort of the memory. मुझे अपनी याद के अनुसार पता है कि ये गुलाब है. Because if you were to ask me my name, क्या तुम्हें मेरे नाम हो सकते हो? I should be utterly unable to give it to you. मैं बिना हिचकिचाए तुम्हें बता सकती हूँ. Jatton was shocked at her the comment. What क्या? He asked a big word. उसे बड़ा भद्दा लगता है. Yes, हाँ. Answered the lady. I suppose it is case of the partial loss of memory. मुझे लगता है कि शायद मैं अपनी मेमोरी खो चुकी हूँ. I was in the train coming down here. जैसे कि ट्रेन यहाँ आई, my ticket told me that I came from Victoria. तो मैंने उनसे टिकट विक्टोरिया जाने के लिए ले ली थी. And was bound for this place. और यहाँ तक कि जैसे मैं उतर रही थी तो मैं ट्रेन से गिर गई थी और उस समय मुझे चोट लग गई. I had a couple of the 5 pound notes. यहाँ तक कि मेरे पास 5 pound notes थे. And a sovereign on me. No visiting cards of any other mean of the identifications. ना मेरे पास कोई पहचान पत्र था. And no ideas as to who I am. और ना मैं समझ पा रही थी कि मैं कौन हूँ. I can only hazily recollected that I am tilt. जैसे तैसे मुझे नहीं पता कि मैं कहाँ रही. I am lady somebody. Beyond that my mind is blank. मेरा जो माइंड था बिल्कुल खाली हो चुका था. मैं किसी को पहचान नहीं पा रही थी. Hadn't you any luggage? ना मुझे पता मेरा सामान कहाँ है. Ask Jatan ने पूछा क्या तुम्हें पता था तुम्हारा सामान कहाँ है? That is what I don't know. उसने कहा नहीं मैं नहीं जानती. I knew the name of this hotel. मैं होटल का नाम भी भूल गई थी. And made up the mind. Come here and when the hotel to meet the train ticket. फिर मैंने क्या किया? मैंने ट्रेन की टिकट को लिया और मैं इस होटल पर पहुंच गई. Asked if I had my luggage. I had to invent a dressing bag. फिर मैंने अपना dressing bags लिया and dressed bucketly. I could always pretended that had gone astray. I gave him the name of the snake. फिर मुझे अपना नाम याद आया and presently he emerged from a confused pile of the luggage. अब मैं confused थी कि मेरे साथ कुछ था या फिर नहीं था. In the passenger with the dressing bag and the dress bucket labeled Castor Smith, I had to take them. I don't see what else I have done. यहाँ तक कि लोग बागों ने मुझे उठाया मेरी बैग पर और मेरी पर नाम लिखा और मेरे साथ मेरे हाथ में थमा दिया. Jatan said nothing. Jatan ने कुछ नहीं कहा, but he rather wondered what the lookful owner of the bandages would do. Of the course, it was dreadful arriving at a strange hotel. जैसे मैं विचित्र होटल में पहुंची, मेरी वहाँ मलहम पट्टी की गई with the name of the Kestrel Smith और मुझे नाम बताया गया कि मेरा नाम Kestrel Smith. But it would have been worse to have arrived without luggage. Anyhow, I hate causing troubles. Jatan had visited the Harshada railway official and the distraught clustering aspects. But he made no attempt to cloth his lateral pictures and go on. The lady continued her story. Naturally, none of my keys would fit the case, but I told an intelligent page boy that I had lost my earring and had the locks forced in the tickling. Another two. Intelligent that boy, he would probably end in the diamond. If you feel sure that you have a little, said Jatan, why not get hold of the keys and go right through it? I tried that. I skimmed through the list of the house of the Lord in the bookcase, but a more printed string of the names conveys our full little to one. If you were an आर्मी ऑफिसर एंड हैड लॉस्ट माय आइडेंटिफाई. फिर मैं एक आर्मी ऑफिसर से मिली जिन्होंने मेरी आइडेंटिफाई की और मेरे को यहाँ तक पहुँचा दिया. यू माइट क्योर ओवर द आर्मी लिस्ट फॉर मंथ्स विदाउट फाइंडिंग आउट बट यू वर. आई एम गोइंग इन अनदर ट्रैक. आई एम ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट बाय द वेरियस लिटिल टेस्ट हु आई एम नॉट. That will narrow the range of the uncertainty down a bit. You may have noticed for instance that I am launching principally of the Lobster news bar. Jatan had not ventured to notice anything of the short. Jatan को सी बातों पे ऐसा लग रहा था कितनी बड़ी घटना हो गई और उसको पता भी नहीं. उसका बिहेव ऐसा था. It is in the extravagances. It is the extravagance because it was of the most expensive dishes of the menu. फिर वह उसके लिए एक एक्स्ट्रा कुछ स्पेशल डिश ऑर्डर करता है. But at any rate, it the proves that I am not lady strapping. She never touches shellfish and poor lady Breda shoves has no the digestion at all. I am here. मैं यहाँ हूँ. I shall certainly die in the agony in the course of the afternoon. यहाँ तक कि मैं दोपहर तक यदि मैं कुछ और नहीं रहती तो शायद मैं मर जाती. And the duty of the finding out who I am will devolve on the press and the police. जल्दी पुलिस ने मेरी छानबीन की, मुझे सही किया and this sort of the papers और उन लोगों से मिलवाया. I shall be fast caring. फिर मेरा ध्यान रखा गया. Lady Canford doesn't know. Lady Canford मुझे जो नहीं जानती थी. One rose from another. She hates me, man. Sure, she wouldn't have spoken to you in any case. And Lady Marston Fitz with every man she meets. वह प्रत्येक आदमी से मिलती थी, मेरे बारे में पूछती थी, कहीं से उन्हें जानकारी मिल जाए. I haven't flirted with you, have I? Justin hastily gave the required assurance. When you see, continued the lady, that knocks for our for of the list of at once. It will be rather a lengthy process, bringing at the list down to one, said Jetta. Oh, but of course, there are the heaps of the man that I couldn't possibly be women who have got the grandchildren or sons. फिर उन्होंने मुझे ग्रेट चिल्ड्रन की तरह मुझे मेरी देखभाल की और मुझे बहुत ध्यान रखा. Enough to have celebrated their coming to age. Okay? चलो. I have only got to the consider the ones about my own age. I tell you how you might help me this afternoon if you don't mind to go through any of the back numbers of the country. Life and those sort of the papers that you can find in the smoking room and see if you come across my portrait and the infant son or anything there of that sort. It won't take you 10 minutes. I will meet you in the town about tea time. Thanks, away for you. And the fair unknown, having reached his jutted into the search for the lost identity, rose and left the room. As he passed the young man's tables, she held it for a moment and whispered, "Did you notice that I tipped the water shilling? We can cross Lady Willett off the list. She would have died rather than do that." At 5 o'clock, Jutton made his way to the hotel lawns. He had spent a diligent but fruitless quarter of an hour among the illustrated weeklies. In the smoking room, a new acquaintance was seated in a small table with a waiter hovering in attendance. Okay, I have got rather a useful ideas. So I feel certain that I belongs to the 5-week club. I'll go back to the town and ask the hall porter there any letters for me. He knows all the members by sight, and if there any letters to the telephone message. Waiting for me, of course, that will solve the problem. If he says there aren't any, I shall say you know who I am. Don't you? So I find no enemy. The plan seemed a sound one difficulty. Indeed, the execution suggested itself to Jordan, of course, said the lady, and she slipped unobtrusively out of the hotel. Her departure was not, however, altogether unnoticed. Two gentlemen were strolling past Jordan, and one of them remarked to the others, "Did you see that tall young man in grey who went out just now? She is the lady." His promenade carried him out of the earshots at the critical moment when he was about the discourse to inclusive identity. A lady who Zayton could scared run after a total stranger break into the conversation and ask him for the information concerning a chance passerby. The beside it was the desirable that he should give the appearance of looking after the luggage. Okay? Chale, not order two, however, the important person is the man who knew came strolling back along Jordan summoned up all his face and welted him. Okay? चलिए next है. I think that I heard you say you knew the lady who went off the hotel a few minutes ago. A tall lady dressed in the grey. Excuse me for asking if you could tell me her name. I have been talking to her for half an hour. She knows all my papers and seems to know me. So I suppose I have met her somewhere before. But I'm blasted if I can put a name to her, could you? Certainly, she's Mrs. Stokely. Mrs. said Jerton. Yes, she's lady champion at the golf in my part of the world. I know a full good shot on the gods about a good deal in society, but she is a weak one. Habit of losing on the memory every now and then and gets into a short of the fixes. She spills too. If you make any illusions to the afterwards, good day, sir. The stranger passed on this way, जैसे रास्ते से कुछ लोग गुजरे. The before certain time of the estimated has the information. Certain ने उनसे कुछ सोचने लेनी शुरू की. He found his full attention and centered on the angry looking lady. कि तुमने ऐसी कोई ऐसी लेडी को देखी जो अपनी मेमोरी लॉस कर चुकी थी. Who was the making loud in the food fretful seeming inquiries of the hotel clerks. फिर उन्हें एक होटल क्लर्क से उसकी जानकारी गेट हुई. Has the luggage been got her? कि अब उसका लगेज कहाँ है? From the station by mistake, जो स्टेशन पर by mistake छूट गया था. A dress basket and the dressing case with the names जिस पर नाम डला हुआ था कैस्टन इसमें. It can be dressed anywhere. जिसे ट्रेस नहीं किया जा सकता. I saw it put in the Victoria. मैंने उसे विक्टोरिया में देखा. It just said why there is my luggage. And look has been the tempered with that and had no more. He flew down to the Turkish bath and stayed there for hours. Okay? Now, okay, this chapter will be completed. I hope that you understood well. Thank you. Have a nice day.